Attitude Broadcasting presents BSS Carolina with your host, Rocky. JPP, not only are you a giant, but you're a dummy giant.
Giant dummy.
You'll be in the same unemployment line as Steve Clifford. New job, Release Roberts. Linsanity's a hornet. They call us hockey experts. Easy.
You know who the next Jordan is? LeBron. It's not his fault. It's just because I like playing devil's advocate. Never again. Hall of Famer. Tannehill. Game over. Don't worry. I'll wait. We've all said it. None of us are hockey experts. I guess we are. We're beating hockey experts.
And big shots.
PJ Harrison. Rudy Gobert. JPP. What a dingling. Linssanity. I said better. I didn't say good. Roy Hibbert. What a dingling. If Duncan gets the 7 rings, not his fault. With Jordan, you got plenty of money. Get you a driver. Bump that. Side pieces. Ronda Rousey.
You can listen to the show on Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. And follow us on Twitter at BSSCarolina. Welcome to BSS Carolinas. Of course, I am Rocky. Joining me on today's show is BBB, as always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In the building.
Our intern of the week this week is Stefan. He's here. Stefan.
Intern?
Yeah.
I know. I haven't been an intern in like 5 years.
No, you're an
So
intern.
for the wrestling, for the sports show, he goes from Little Steven to Stefan.
Stefan, yes.
Does he step into his transformation
Yeah, what am I,
chamber?
like Steve Urkel? I just like turn all of a sudden into cool?
No, you've never been cool. I mean, let's don't ever confuse our listeners. You've never been cool.
Oh, come on.
Right.
I was cool that one day.
When?
One day, remember?
Name it.
It was that day with the,
It was the one
with
day
the
where
month
he was
and
cool.
yeah.
You remind me of the kid on, I don't know if anybody watches Fresh Out the Boat. You remind me of the kid that they make sit on the ground for lunch.
I don't remember that part.
Fresh Off the Boat. Watch Fresh Off the Boat. You not seen Fresh Off the Boat?
No, I'm not. I don't watch
with
Fresh
Ken
Out.
Jong. And,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
not
He's got
Ken.
some-
Well, he is in it, but yeah.
He's
No,
like-
that's the other show,
that's the
right?
doctor, but he is in it
show?
right now.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
in it now.
I,
is he
I
really
get
in
my
it?
Asian
Yeah.
shows mixed up. I kind of blend them together.
No, he's a doctor. It's funny. He's a doctor on his own show, but then he is on this show.
Yeah, like a cameo doctor on that show. Yeah.
He's on this one. He's getting married right now. But you remind me of the little kid that has to sit at the end of the day. They get the whole lunchroom table, and they make him sit on the floor during lunch. So, I'm just...
Yeah.
One of the writers for that show is Amy Wong, and she had like this comedy special on Netflix.
Oh, Amy Wong is hilarious.
I mean, she is
man.
like 7 months pregnant, belly out to here, but she is on stage killing it, man.
Yeah, that's Amy Wong for you.
Speaking of, funny stuff, and, it's coming up Thanksgiving. Bobby was telling me his favorite, Thanksgiving dessert. What is yours? Because I know you have one.
I don't have it. I mean, just
You don't have a Thanksgiving
ice
dessert?
cream and brownies is what it is for us.
Ice cream and brownies.
Yeah,
That's
or
like
cookies.
the most dull
fresh
answer I've
baked
ever heard.
cookies or fresh baked brownies, and then we get some Friendly's ice cream. Mwah. That is piece of resistance right there.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want me to say pumpkin pie
No,
or something
something.
like this?
Yes.
No, screw pumpkin pie, all right?
Or
I've
some
heard
candied
it forever.
yams or something.
Candied yams is not dessert. That goes with the dinner, man.
Our intern, Stephanie, back over here, is laughing at you. She's laughing. I know it's a funny answer, right? Uh-huh. But, you cookies and ice cream?
I'm sorry. It's better than pumpkin pie.
Cookies and ice cream.
Yeah, man.
Fresh.
Great.
Who makes
No,
these
but
cookies?
they're fresh made cookies, not out of the little tube with the little
Yeah, they're fresh
Pillsbury
made
guy.
from the pullback and the chips
Nah,
ahoy
man.
soft batch.
We do actual made from scratch cookies.
Who, your
Oh,
mom?
the pop open
Yeah,
pan
man.
that you scoop the cookie and drop it
No,
on the pan
actu-
and it bakes itself.
We did that one year, but Nah, man, actually made with eggs and everything else that goes into a cookie.
Make from scratch
Made
cookies.
from scratch.
You roll out the dough in there.
Made from
She wrote it out and everything?
Yeah, roll it out.
wrote it out,
Yeah,
right?
she rolls it out.
She rolled it out.
She rolled it out. All right. That's all. No, you had to roll out the dough. I mean, come on.
Roll that dough.
You got to roll the dough. Roll that dough. Roll that dough. You know, come on. You got to roll it. So, all right. Anyway, that's your Thanksgiving dessert, huh?
I have a
Cookies.
question.
What?
So,
No, Shaq is not a point guard.
is he not?
No.
I thought he finally changed his position. Anyways, I've been reading some articles here, some sports articles. Not wanting to get into this, but is it true that Kaepernick did not vote?
It is true.
It is very true.
Is that true?
That is
That's very
Mr.
true.
I'm going to stand up against things and he didn't vote?
But to his defense, he said about a month ago that they asked him who he was voting for. He was like, I really don't care for either one because it's just the lesser of two evils.
That is, to me, okay. Now, he did come out saying, you know, he said the same thing I heard he said yesterday. But to me, a change does not help by you not voting.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't like either one of the candidates, there's independents you could have voted for. You could do a write-in.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Ric Flair got some write-in votes.
Of course he did.
You know,
I was tempted to put my name up there.
well, usually I
Vote
put
for me.
Well, usually I put you down for water and soil commissioner.
Hey,
of
I will
Mecklenburg
take
County.
that government job.
I put you in for that usually, and you know you
This
ain't gotta
our water
wait
and
yet.
soil commissioner, big shot.
Yeah, big shot, Bob. Yeah, I mean, you know, I love it. It's great. What are you laughing about? I put you in.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
I'm not even old enough.
old enough to vote. But no, listen. One thing you said that I think is everybody's responsibility to at least vote.
Of course.
I mean, if you don't agree with everybody, you need to vote for somebody. Now, I'm not going to say when candidates were great or anything.
Yeah.
But you
Now,
have
not
to at least
voting
get out and
is
vote.
taking a stance, but when you're not voting to, like, and then you go and you make a political statement about it, that's when I have a problem. Because then, even just voting for a wasted vote, like putting a third party or something, that's showing more than not voting at all.
Do you know
You
Do you know how many people fought for the right for us to have the right to vote? I mean, in this
a lot of
country,
people.
Yeah.
not just white.
I know.
Not just white, blacks, and to me,
And women.
and women.
No, a lot
I
of
think, especially, I forgot. Thank you. I think when you don't vote, it's a slap in the face to those that work to get you the right to vote.
A slap to the face of our predecessors.
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong on that discussion?
No,
I mean,
you're not.
Right?
You're not at all. No, I was just reading an article, and I saw Stephen A. Smith was talking about
Oh
it.
yeah, Stephen A.
Oh,
went
and he
off
was
on him.
mad, yeah.
Stephen A. absolutely.
I
tore
give
him
Stephen
up.
A.
Tore him a
Smith.
new one.
Look, me and Stephen A. Smith don't agree on a lot of things. I'm not saying I'm not a Stephen A. Smith fan, but I'm not the real Scott Ely here. I don't love the guy, but I have to give him props here. He actually, because he actually was supporting Kaepernick for a minute, wasn't he?
He was supporting him for a while. Yep.
Well, I guess not anymore, but at least I got to give him credit.
I'm glad you brought up Stephen A. Smith because we're going to do a segment on the show.
Oh,
You don't want to make an enemy out of me. And I'm looking right into the camera. And I'm going to say it again. You don't want to make an enemy out of me.
So now we can say Colin Kaepernick, you were probably on that list.
Probably on the enemy list.
you are on the enemy
You
list.
and Kevin Durant, one
Kevin
and two.
Durant. Yeah, now it's Kaepernick and Durant.
Wait, Durant's on the list?
Well, this is
That's who we dedicated
Yeah.
the line to.
yeah.
Wow.
He said that to Kevin Durant. So
But for me, I'm gonna go back old school. The Kansas City Chiefs, y'all are on the list this week. Alex Noodle Arm Smith, Spencer, better beware of our defense. We coming for y'all. We gonna handle the Chiefs this weekend. Let's go, Carolina. Keep pounding, baby.
I'm going to go with the black and gold. The team that has one more Super Bowl championship than we do right now. We played them this week.
Ooh,
The Steelers and Cowboys. It will be a lot of scoring, and we better win this game because this is a huge game. We win this game 8 in a row and pretty much control of the NFC for the rest of the year.
Is looking really pretty.
I mean, even we win this game 8-1. You know, see, we got 5 weeks left. I mean, we should go ahead and we should be able to wrap up the NFC division number 1 seed in a couple weeks if we win this game.
But Big Ben's coming out on fire this week.
Oh no,
he had a
after last week
game last week.
That's what worries me. But this week's enemy of the week for me is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
Do you have one?
No, I had another question, but it's okay. We'll wait on that one.
Okay, so let's get through that.
on enemies, ugh.
You got an enemy? Somebody that got under your skin this week?
I mean, I just put Colin Kaepernick because I don't like that. I mean, I give him that.
I do have one more I want to add. San Diego.
It's San Diego.
Fine. San Diego voted against the new stadium funding for San Diego Chargers.
Because they're about to be
why?
the LA
Again.
Chargers.
Why though? No, they're not about to be the LA Chargers.
Well, no, the rumor now the Chargers are talking about going back, being on the vote for next year, because their lease don't run out until 2020. All right, so they're locked in for a couple years. But listen, y'all, come on. Pony up and get this team a new stadium because it is horrible.
You don't understand the taxes that they pay in the city of San Diego are already like 11-12%.
Have you lived there?
No,
you
they're
know
bad.
what you think about that?
I have a friend that lived there. Yes, I know. I heard.
That I know the state of California tell me about the taxes.
Yeah, taxes are insane.
I mean, you see the price of gas and cigarettes.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah, true.
So they we don't want our taxes to be 16-17% for a new stadium.
I can get that, but they need to come out with compromise in that city and the owner. They need to come up with something to keep that.
I mean,
the Chargers should not move.
Stop trying to put the onus of the money on the community and the voters. The billionaires that own the team got to pony up need to pony up 85% of the money. Please.
Are you talking to Charlotte?
I'm talking to San Diego.
What about Charlotte? When you want to say that about Charlotte?
Well, our stadium is barely 20 years old, 21
Jerry
years old.
Hey, our stadium looks
great.
And we just spent money for refurbishing.
Whoa. And you know where that came from, right? That was us.
Of course.
You know where hold on a second. You know where the refurbish came at Spectrum Arena, right? You know where that came from, right?
Where?
It came from us. We pay for that.
And you know
the owners aren't paying for any of this stuff.
And they never will.
I know somebody in Dallas, Texas that paid for all that.
Who?
Jerry Jones.
But see, we would have got our money back. But there's a law in our state that the NBA and a lot of entertainers don't like. So that's just lost money.
But the owners should help pay a big chunk of that, not depend on the city.
Well, it should be the owners because the owners own it's their. It's their stadium. Their name is on the stadium, man.
No, I know.
Why aren't they paying for it? Why do I got to pay for your name?
Here's my
problem.
Why
does that make sense?
Here's my problem with this. All right, Jerry Richardson, we name everything after. We built him a brand new statue in front of the stadium. We pay for that. Okay, the city pay for that.
That's fine.
Then you go to UNCC Charlotte. We named that field after him. But when it comes to the own stadium, he put money behind that. But he ain't put money behind the Carolina Panthers.
That's why it's Bank of America Stadium.
So shouldn't Bank of America pay for it?
They paid.
I'm just saying
for it.
No, but
don't take my wife's bonus.
No, I'm just saying. It doesn't make any sense.
Take a bonus.
We don't make that much. Damn. You act like we're making $500 million a year.
Like, we about to get all these tax breaks.
No, but what I'm saying is, though, it's wrong that the city...
add Texas.
No, but it's wrong that the city has to pay for their... The owners should have to do something. I don't think the owners are paying for anything. They get more money than what they pay for.
All right, that's good. Let's move on to football. We got football to talk about. We do talk about sports on this show.
We do?
Yes, believe it or not. I know you're trying to turn us into a
No, it's
show.
just... a lot of sports questions, man. Like,
you got another question?
Yeah,
you want to ask
a lot
right
of
now?
yeah. Charles Barkley.
All right. Here we're going with Barkley. You go ahead.
What happened? Why is he trashing ESPN, and why is what's his name trashing ESPN as well? Mark Cuban. What's going on?
Mark Cuban took credentials away from Mark Stein. I don't know if you heard about this big shot, but he took away their credentials for one of the games. In case you don't know, Mark Cuban's a big Hillary Clinton now because he didn't want Trump to win whatsoever. So he took away their credentials at ESPN. Let me look it up real fast.
Okay.
Season credentials for two of them, Tim McMahon and Mark Stein. They took away the credentials for the season. Neither reporter has been allowed to attend home games since a home game last Friday. McMahon role changed from full-time Mavericks beat writer to more general NBA positions. Cuban followed through initial warning and revoked his and Stein's credentials. Stein has covered NBA forever. He's been there. The ban applies to solely McMahon and Stein or ESPN writers, at least 1 meter credential. They declined comment. They're not banned from the building. They can still buy a ticket, Mark Cuban says. He just doesn't want them there. But there's no comment.
Is it just because of the voting? I mean, that's what it sounds like.
It may be.
Okay, and then what's with Charles Barkley trashing ESPN? What does he have to gain out of this? I don't understand that.
Well, Charles Barkley does not. Don't forget, he always him and Dan Le Batard do not like each other at all.
Oh,
Dan Le Batard's show is. Bobby, you like Le Batard's show?
He has some good moments, like the
one he does in the morning, right, on ESPN?
On ESPN.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they had like members of the National Toy Hall of Fame on one of their shows one morning. I didn't even know there was a National Toy Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
but there is a National Toy Hall of Fame.
It's a great Hall of Fame if you're into that
stuff
kind
like
of
stuff. That is it's interesting. It's different. So
yeah,
he does some. He has some good spots.
Okay, I'm
confused.
There's so much hatred with ESPN lately.
Well, Le Batard and Stugatz is a sports show, but it's more of a liberal, and it is. I mean, you can say what you want about the show. It is liberal, which is fine, but it's more of stories. Like they do little funny segments. Like today, they spent the whole show talking about Stan Van Gundy's comments about the president-elect and different things like that. So they don't talk, hey, what happened this week on in the NFL game or this or that a lot. They talk more of just like the Monday night game with the blown calls, stuff like that. But it looks like the Barkley thing, they're not going to work me like a dog and not pay me. He said about ESPN. I'm trying to see here. That means the Inside had plenty to talk about into early Friday morning, and Barkley took over and hilarious rant about ESPN.
Yeah, apparently he was speaking Spanish.
Yeah, muy bien, gracias.
Muy bien, gracias.
He said that a lot.
Thank you very much.
God.
But, he's all – some of these guys –
I mean,
ESPN,
Charles is a character anyway.
Right.
So
Shaq doesn't like ESPN as far as the Le Batard show. And Dan Le Batard rubs a lot of those athletes the wrong way because he wants to know more stories about their lives than what's going on in the court and other things.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with that.
Okay.
All right, getting into NFL, thoughts on Monday night game with Sherman hitting the kicker. I will tell you, I thought it was fine. The rest never blew the whistle, so you keep going.
I heard the whistle. Richard Sherman tried to take out the kicker.
No, I heard.
Should he be castrated for it? No.
I heard. What I heard is he didn't hear the whistle, and it was late whistle.
It was
so
late.
If it's a late whistle, how are you supposed to stop?
It was late, and it was kind of like a timid whistle. It was like a brrr instead of brrr.
Then how are you supposed to stop if it's a late whistle? Because if he would stopped earlier, he would have ran over the the holder, right?
He wouldn't have ran into him at all.
He
He
would
would have heard the whistle.
Well, no, if he heard, but his momentum, he was going to hit somebody, and he went for the ball. And now, if he went completely at the kicker or the holder, that's a different story. But, and then the refs completely screwed it up because after that, they didn't throw an unnecessary roughness penalty, which I get because they messed up that whole situation. Then, with 3 seconds on the play clock, they're standing over the top of the ball, so they couldn't hike the ball to kick it. So then Buffalo had to spike the ball, okay, because the kicker was out of the lineup for a minute because he was hurt. Had to bring him back in. He misses the field goal to the right, and the Bills lose by 6. So it could have been a 3-point game late in the fourth quarter.
They were
and
in field goal range
Yeah.
before they had to take that fourth down. Desperate throw to Woods, which Tyrod Taylor was running for his life on that last play.
But they totally botched that game.
There's been a few games that's been botched, and that's why I don't understand about the National Tackling League. Like, why don't y'all have full-time officials that are year-round involved with your game, involved with the rules, involved with video, looking at the same stuff that this executive board that is getting paid all this money is looking at, so they could come to an understanding and try to get more of these calls right. So we aren't complaining about the officiating every freaking week.
I don't think they need to have them full-time yearly. Here's what they do need to do, though. They didn't find these refs at all. They didn't do anything to these refs that screwed up. Mm-hmm. So guess what? They're going to continue to work games. You should find just like you find a player for doing something bad, an owner, a GM. You should find these refs just the same way you do anybody else. And then if you take money away from them or take them away from the game, like we talked about earlier, don't let them call playoff games. Don't let them call Super Bowls. Exactly. I bet you at some point they'll fix it. But anyway, I just every time they go to Seattle,
it's always something in Seattle. It's got to be the fish that they are throwing to each other and catching and eating, or the water, or just the insane amount of rain that falls in that city. I don't know.
Always something.
I don't know.
Let's go into our top 3 bottom 3 teams of the week. Who are your bottom 3 teams?
Excluding the Cleveland Browns.
No Cleveland Browns. We'll leave that out.
San Francisco 49ers, because we know they suck. The New York Football Jets. Y'all have to go in there, right? The Chicago Bears. And the Los Angeles Rams. Those are your bottom 3 this week. And let's give a honorable mention to the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a disappointing team. They're probably the most disappointing team in the league this year. So many expectations for Jacksonville. 9-7, they're going to make the playoffs. Shoot.
I thought 10-6 at least.
Shoot. And Tampa Bay can go in that bottom pile of crap. Big heap of mess, whatever you want to call it. Top 3s, New England, Dallas, Oakland.
That hurts you to say that.
Hell yeah, you know I can't.
Again, it's been 4 weeks in a row you saying that. It's been nice.
They keep winning. I can't take them out. They keep winning.
I am going to go the Jets, the 49ers, and the Rams. I know you're 3-5, but you've lost 4 in a row now.
Y'all look
that
suspect.
quarterback is horrible. And you know what game this week is? 2 of the worst 3 teams in my bottom 3 are playing each other. The Jets and the Rams.
Somebody got to win.
Can't wait. I can't wait. Fitzpatrick against Keenum. This will be great. Fitzpatrick. That should be his name.
Is that his name?
Against Sackham, because Case gets sacked all the time.
That's very true. My top 3. Because they were on a bye week, they slide to number 2. Number 2 this week is the Patriots because they were on a bye week. Number 3, I can't put Kansas City number 3 because they did not impress against a bad team. I will go ahead and go with I'll go with Oakland. Oakland, because they beat Denver. That's a good team they beat. And number one, of course, is the Dallas Cowboys. We had a good win this week against the Browns.
If Oakland's defense was a little better, they'd be higher up. But their offense is legit, man. They can throw. They can run. That young quarterback is back there making plays for them.
Well, not only that, but their defense, Khalil Mack played really good. The only thing about it's kind of like who you played. Denver's offensive line is horrible. They don't have C.J. Anderson.
They can't run the ball.
You got Trevor back there playing quarterback, so you don't know what he can do. He looks like a rookie, a 7th-round pick right now. Who are your fantasy sleepers this week?
Let me go back to the schedule. Joe Flacco tonight against Cleveland. He should have
Steve Smith or
game.
T. Pryor in this game tonight.
Shoot, probably Terrell Pryor still because he gets more throws. Mike Wallace is having a couple big weeks, and I think he's going to eat some of those targets and some of the yardage. But Terrell Pryor is the only option in Cleveland. Somebody has to throw him the football. I would say Trevor Siemian. They get to play the New Orleans Saints. Colin Kaepernick had 398 yards last week passing against the New Orleans Saints. He didn't have Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas to throw the football to. Trevor Siemian, if you don't pass for a minimum of 300 yards, your ass got to go somewhere else. You got to go back to Northwestern, somewhere, because you don't deserve to be in the NFL. Can Denver go, what up, Pate? We need you to come back. Somebody give Mr. Manning a call, please. Another sleeper. Let me look. I think Stefon Diggs can have a bounce-back week against Washington because he's been in the slot a lot more. Josh Norman definitely plays on the outside. Case Keenum against the Jets. Or Ryan Fitzpatrick, maybe. I mean, those are long shots there. Brock Osweiler. I know he hasn't lived up to it, but they play Jacksonville this week. Jacksonville gives up a ton of yards and points. He should be all right, too.
I would say, here's a couple for me. I would definitely go Marcus Mariota playing Green Bay. That secondary is horrible right now. Mohamed Sanu, the Falcons playing the Eagles, or Julio's always do what Julio does. But that Eagles secondary has been hurt, and it's been burnt lately. Mm-hmm. Another one, Alex Smith, New Orleans, playing Carolina. You got some weapons, as long as you get the time, you should be okay. Watch for him maybe to have – he usually has a good game against Carolina when he plays here. Another couple ones real fast. Ryan Tannehill, if you got a quarterback on a bye week, this might be a good week to play Tannehill for 1 week only.
Don't play Tannehill.
Actually, I was going to start Tannehill, but I picked up Eli. That's another one I'm getting ready to say. Eli Manning playing the Bengals on Monday night.
Yeah, the Bengals are atrocious.
Bengals defense secondary is horrible. Play Eli. And if I was you this week, I would go ahead and pick up Thomas Rawls. He's not playing this week, but he'll be back next week. And he will be the starter because Christian Michael is not killing it in Seattle right now.
He's killing something, but it ain't the fantasy line, the score.
And I'm telling you, go ahead and pick either a Cowboy or a Steeler. It doesn't matter who. Just pick one of those two teams. You want to get at least somebody there to play because there's going to be a lot of points put up in this game. But anyway, that's our sleepers. Redskins will start Rob Kelly instead of Matt Jones this week. Matt Jones will have to earn his way back to starting.
R. Kelly Kales. Mm-hmm. Girl, you want to come to the hotel? Oh, that's a different R. Kelly.
Yeah,
this Rob Kelly right here is pretty good, though.
He's doing pretty good, man.
He's doing pretty good for
I
Washington.
picked up a couple fantasy teams.
I tried to pick him up. He was already snatched up. Yeah. I had to pick up Chris Ivory, though, as a third running back, which I didn't feel like was a bad option.
Well, let's get into this week's games. The first game, real fast, do we say the Browns win this game against the Ravens?
Forget that.
All right, so we're both going Ravens. I'm not spending more time on that. The next game, the Packers at the Titans. Who you got?
Ooh, this is a tough one to call right here. I will take. Green Bay hasn't played well at all. I'll take the Titans at home, man. Green Bay is a 2.5-point favorite, but I think Tennessee, after a tough week last week, I think they bounce back and they find a way this week.
They scored some points last week. They just had turnovers that cost them
Mariota,
against the Chargers.
A pick six and a fumble that got picked up for the 6.
I'm going to go with the Packers because I think it will help them being on the road. I think they get under control a little bit. They've got to get a running back that can play running back, not Ty Montgomery, Randall Cobb. They need a running back there.
James Stark should be back this week, they claim.
So that will be a good move. The Vikings at the Redskins. Who you got?
Washington off a bye. Minnesota they are in the toilet. They can't get out of their own way. Their line is atrocious. Their running game is even worse. I'm going to take Washington at home.
I am going to take the racial slurs to win this game.
The racial slurs. Yeah. Yes, sir.
The Falcons at the Eagles. You got 6-3 Falcons at 4-4 Eagles.
The Falcons are just playing so well right now. I see the Falcons winning this game.
Carson Wentz, that bandwagon has finally fell off. He had some picks last week. He did throw a lot of yards. But I'm going to go with the Falcons. The team has played really good, and I think they'll keep rolling. That defensive secondary you can throw against.
And unfortunate for Carson Wentz, I mean, when your main back is Darren Sproles, who is 33 years old and never been a main back, and your best wide receiver is Jordan Matthews and Nelson Aguilar. Thank you, Chip Kelly.
You got
Thank
Zach
you
Ertz.
again.
You got Zach Ertz.
Chip Kelly, man. If you're a Philadelphia fan, you need to go find Chip Kelly. You need to go step on his face. Look at all the talent he just let go away from your team.
Next game we got the Bears at the Bucks. Are we going to Bears?
No, I'm going with Tampa at home. Right, Jameis should have a good week. Jay Cutler ain't going to have 2 good games in a row. This is Jay Cutler we're talking about here.
Yeah, he's come back to earth. I will say the Bucks will win. Mike Evans was hurt, and so was Winston, but both of them will be back this week. Houston at Jacksonville.
Ooh, this is a big game. It's tough to trust Houston, but it's even tougher to trust Jacksonville. Jacksonville is actually a 2-point favorite at home. But I will take Houston, I think, off a bye week. They figured out Osweiler and Hopkins. I think Hopkins has a big week this week. So let's go with the Texans.
This is where they start turning it around. I'm going to go with Jacksonville because I don't trust Osweiler at all. They're the worst 5-3 team I've ever seen. They're 5-3, and I don't know how they got beat 5-3 because they have looked awful. And without J.J. Watt, the defense is not the same. I'll go to Jags in a close one, but a shootout. The Broncos at the Saints.
Broncos at the Saints. Woo. New Orleans is going to be tough to beat in their building. They've been finding ways to win games. I think Denver rights the ship this week, though. I think they will be able to get a stop when they need it, unlike New Orleans defense. So we'll take Denver.
All right. I'm taking New Orleans because I think the Broncos are a hot mess. We don't know if Talib will be back this week, but I'm going to go Drew Brees to get it done. They're running the ball well, too. Hightower and Ingram had a really good game last week. The next game, I hate this game. This is a game you don't want to watch on Sunday. The Rams at the Jets. Case Keenum against Fitzpatrick.
The Rams at the Jets. Do we have to pick a winner? I will pick the Jets. The Jets are a little bit better, I guess, than the Rams, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm going to go with the Rams because I'm not going with Fitzpatrick because I didn't pick them to win but 3 games all year, and I think that's –
And plus a West Coast team going to the East Coast for that early 1 o'clock East Coast game is usually tough on
They
West
look
Coast
good
team.
in London.
Oh, did he? Did he? I thought Landon Collins outscored the Rams by himself.
He did. I'm messing with but no, I'll go with the Rams. I think Gurley finally has a good game. I think the Rams win.
Man.
But, yeah.
I feel so bad for that guy. I feel worse for the fantasy owners that drafted him this year.
I know I didn't. I wasn't going to.
I wasn't going to either. I looked at their quarterback, their line, their wide receivers. That was a big red sign that said stay away.
All I know is that game made me happy. No, it didn't. Not at all. That game was horrible. Don't watch that game. If you're a Jets fan this weekend, turn the channel.
Mike Greenberg will be watching
Greenberg,
the game, though. Greeny, enjoy it, man, because it might be the last win your team gets this season.
All right, you're listening to BSS Carolinas. We got one more segment coming up. Everybody else, thank you tuning in, and you can catch us everywhere.
Peace.